Welcome everyone. I'm Robert Payton, your host. Welcome to the book of Revelation. So simple. Today we're going to talk about that little parable of the fig tree and where it says, Jesus says, not a generation shall pass. And this is very quick, very simple. Now in Matthew chapter 24, this is at the campfire after Jesus told them that Jerusalem would be destroyed. And so after the campfire, they start asking him, when's this going to happen? What will be the time of your coming? That's basically the only two questions they get. What will be the sign of your coming? And so Jesus first goes into the big question. When is Jerusalem going to be destroyed? Now, you're with Jesus. You're in Jerusalem. You were born in that area. That is your city. Are you concerned about anything that's going to happen 2,000 years in the future? Are you concerned at all? Do you care? No. Someone comes to you and says, they're going to destroy your town. It's going to be destroyed. Your town's going to be destroyed. And if Jesus is talking to you and tells you that, guess what? Your town's going to be destroyed. Do you care about what's going to happen over 1,000, 2,000 years in the future? No. So what Jesus tells them in Matthew 24 is the upcoming destruction of Jerusalem that's going to occur in their generation, because that's the verse we're talking about, Matthew chapter 24, verse 34. Now Jesus just gets done telling them about all this horrible stuff that's going to happen, which is, and tells them the sign in verse 27, for when the Son of Man does come, it will be like lightning. He tells them a little bit of the future right there. After the sun grows dark and the moon turns to blood, then the sign of the Son of Man will appear. That's in verse 30. And then he says, he'll send his angels down to pick up his people. That's the resurrection, which I call the third resurrection of the new covenant, because Jesus was the first, and people that raised along with him were the second, and the third group is right there, what everyone calls a rapture, but that's poorly named. All right. And in verse 32, it says, now let the fig tree teach you its lesson. When its branches begin to sprout and leaves appear, you know that summer is approaching. Well, they go, okay, well, that's Israel. When Israel's born, talking about it back in May of 1948 or May of 1967, when Israel became an official nation again. They go, oh, okay, now a generation will pass. And they teach that and taught that, and they, for reasons unknown. Anyway, no, it doesn't. This is just a simple analogy. Jesus telling them, you see a fig tree when its branches begin to sprout, you know that leaves will appear and that the summer's coming. It's an analogy. That's all it is. Okay. Then it says, in the same way, when you see all these things, the things he told them about the upcoming destruction of Jerusalem in their time, which occurred in our past between 66 to 70 AD, when you see all these things happen, then when you see these things start happening, you know it's coming. Okay? You know that the time is near, right at the door. Verse 34. Yes, Matthew 24, verse 34. Yes, I tell you that this people, and in other King James, this generation, will certainly not pass away before all these things happen. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. Yes, I tell you that this people will certainly not pass away before all these things happen. He's talking about right then, at that time. You got to know when the Bible is written, know when they're talking about. You got to answer it. When you read verses, you got to know who, what, where, when, how, and why. You need to know all of that before you make assumptions. And so, for some reason, we've been taught that this is about upcoming Israel, and that it's going to happen in our generation. A generation came and gone. You notice they're not preaching this no more. They quit preaching this now because a generation's gone. We're like 50-something years now from that time at the earliest. The latest is like 60, 70 years. Like a generation's gone. We're in like second or third generation. It's gone. Okay, what they taught was a lie. Do you understand? this upcoming Jerusalem, upcoming destruction, is a lie that they teach. This happened and occurred in our past. And it's so simple if you just read the word for yourself and quit relying on these pastors. These pastors are taught one way. I don't know how they get the churches going. I'm not going to speculate. And they get a crowd in, and they want you in there so you can pay their bills. You can buy them a new truck. You can buy them, the wife new rings. Okay? They want you in there. I don't want none from you. Don't send me none. So, learn the truth. This coming 7-year tribulation, this coming Antichrist, all occurred in Jerusalem in the past. It's right there in the Bible. It's in Daniel. It's in the book of Revelation. It's throughout the Bible. You just got to do your own studying. So, that's my little rant today. Hope you're having a new year in 2025. And we'll see you on the next video.